You are watching the Justin TV Invitational, cast by myself, Totalbiscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SHOUTcraft right here. I bring you the Justin TV Invitational. Yes! It's gonna be awesome. We are in the final day. We are down to a very small number of players. Both of these guys are in the losers bracket, which means that one of these guys is going out, and another is going to advance to the losers bracket finals. If he's able to win there, he will play in the grand final. I bring you Drewbie from Team Root. He is in the blue trunks. He is playing Terran here on Icy Cup Fighting Spirit versus his opponent BratOK. He is in the yellow trunks, and he is also playing Terran. The Justin TV Invitational is brought to you by Zowie, QPad, Split Reason, and brackets kindly provided by Zeke.com, as well as, of course, Justin.tv themselves. Drewbie was on a little bit of a rampage yesterday. He stomped over pretty much everybody, including Hydra, I might add, in a very convincing win. He is not to be stopped right now. However, BratOK is a very dangerous opponent. He is. He was able to deal with a minigun yesterday in fine fashion. Now looking to take out his teammate in Root as well. Bear in mind, this is a double elimination format, folks. So these guys are both already in the losers bracket. Another loss here will knock a player completely out of the tournament. The other matches we have coming up for you later, we've got Atero versus Soke, who are in the winners bracket, both of them. So one of them could afford a loss. They will be knocked down to the losers bracket to play the winner of this match. And if they are able to hang on after that, they will go into the grand final. That's how it works, folks. It's a little bit complicated, but you can go and check out Zeke.com and go and have a look at the brackets if you wish to know more about the format of this particular tournament. Well, that was the first couple of minutes covered. It's a TBT, you don't expect an awful lot. Now, having watched BratOK's play in the past, it wouldn't surprise me if he were to grab a Reaper after this. He has been known to do that in TBT. To varying degrees of success, I have to say. Sometimes it works out really well for him, sometimes not so much. Both players have done an identical opening, as you can see right here, a refinery for each. So no crazy early high gas play for the time being. I would imagine a factory will come up after this once the gas has gotten to the amount that it needs to be. Nice quick block off there by BratOK. No scouting for you, Drewbie, I'm afraid. And as BratOK checks out the various areas of the pretty little lilies, as you can see on this map, very nicely put together map here. A double factory, one for each, in fact, coming up for BratOK and Drewbie. Not to be unexpected, honestly. That is the kind of thing that I would expect to see from both of them right now. BratOK with his refinery a little bit earlier than Drewbie. Not that that's going to make too much of a difference. And as to what we'll see from these players, you never really know, honestly. In TBT, they've done all sorts of different things. They're very varied. BratOK likes to attack from multiple angles. He's very good with his drop play. Drewbie, on the other hand, very much of a sledgehammer approach. Likes to get very aggressive, continue to pour on the pressure, and just keep it going. Bear in mind that Drewbie's marine heavy play probably won't work so well. Maybe the last TBT I saw him in was actually against, well, who was that against? I think it was against Richman, who deployed a bizarre build consisting primarily of Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions, Vikings, a couple of Banshees, and some battle cruisers, which is not exactly what Drewbie was expecting, but he dealt with it pretty well. Both players building the exact same thing right now. Starport with a 15-second lead for BratOK. Not a huge amount either way. Single Hellion coming up, and there we go through to the tech lab for BratOK. This is when we may just see the divergence here. He's either building the tech lab to go for the siege tanks, so of course maybe through to Thor's, or for the swap around. It is not perfectly timed if he wants to do a swap. Have to see what he comes out with here. Will he dump down another one, or will this be a swap? Up in the air it goes, and there is the swap for you. So we can see Banshees, we can see Ravens coming out very, very shortly for BratOK. Raven is his first port of call. A smart bet, although Drewbie not actually bothering with anything high-tech on the air front at all. Simply a starport with a medivac coming out right here. So drops are a possibility at some point in the not-too-distant future. An initial scouting mission from Drewbie's Hellion, repulsed by BratOK's Hellion, all the way back to the base with that. No big losses yet. BratOK losing a single Marine, I believe. Nothing that he really needs to worry about. Actually, no, it was the SCV earlier, wasn't it? So no losses as of yet at all. Bit of damage done to Drewbie, but nothing he really needs to worry about there. Another barracks coming down right here for Drewbie, and BratOK's expansion is on the way. Obviously, a little bit risky to expand, particularly since Drewbie's just scouted that out. Will he be able to apply some aggression to take advantage of that? If we have a look at the unit counting station, what we will see is BratOK sitting on 7 Marines, a Raven, and a Hellion, a reasonable defensive force. 3 Hellions and a Medevac for Drewbie right now, though, so bear this in mind, because we've got a Hellion drop coming in right here. That'll be the first really aggressive part of the day. BratOK already moving to a reasonable spot, a good bet at this point of the game. Yeah, drops are a very real possibility. He's going right for it. BratOK is ready to respond to that, however, so not a lot of damage is going to be really done there, although obviously he doesn't want his Marines too close to that. Auto turret goes down. Nice little bit of a deployment there by the Raven, and off Drewbie goes. He doesn't really have an opportunity here to do big damage as much as he would like to. Siege tank also on the field now for BratOK, and we do see a Viking coming up, so siege tech and plenty of shelling on the way. Right now, Drewbie doesn't really have a huge amount that he can do against something like that. Needs to watch out for the possibility of siege tank play. He's got a siege tank of his own coming in, as well as Stim, but no Marauders on the field, and Hellions don't do all that well. And a nice little play there by BratOK as he deploys his Viking. Can he take it down before the drop? I don't think that's very likely, although BratOK might be able to nail him down with an auto turret. I can see them going away fairly rapidly from that. Kind of surprised they didn't drop the Viking down there. Nice armored unit, can do a little bit of damage to those Hellions. In the meantime, we have a rollout of Marines coming out for Drewbie. Only 11 on the field, though. Not a huge amount, especially not with a tank ready for BratOK, deploying, I would imagine, on the edge of that cliff, looking to cover his expansion opportunities. If we have a look, Drewbie's only just started his expansion, so unless he can exploit the fact that he has a slight troop advantage, which right now is looking very unlikely. He's lost his drop capability. Air superiority is firmly in the hands of BratOK. He'll need a little bit more than Marines to actually go in there and do reasonable damage, particularly with that siege tank sitting on the cliff. A very nice overlook there. Any attempt to go through there is going to incur a rather large amount of shelling, as he's about to find out. Looking for a slide in right there. Will he get in? Will he get in? No, he will not. Absolutely not. So prolonged ground warfare is a real possibility. In the meantime, Raven on its way out. A little bit of harassment, possibly with the Vikings as well. Drop of the Vikings would eliminate that SC very, very quickly. Could be looking for that. In the meantime, Drewbie looks to redeploy. Takes out a Marine for free. Auto turret down there, and there you go. A nice free SCV for him, and a little bit of a delay on the expansion. There's a free, yes. I wouldn't call it free, actually. That was a Medevac gun down for the cost of a Raven. Not exactly what I would call an astonishing start for him. In the meantime, BratOK sitting down, pretty damn happy with how things are going right now. Shouldn't be too worried, and I wouldn't really blame him. Drewbie with another factory coming out. We're going to be seeing some heavy siege tank play coming out in the not-too-distant future. Again, this expansion denied for quite some time, so if we have a look at the economy, BratOK is well ahead now and should be able to take advantage of that, at least for the time being. Combat shield coming up for Drewbie, still continues to rely on those Marines, which won't be all that effective. Even trying to catch those Vikings out of position, which is not going to happen. A little bit of a stim, a little bit of damage done, but nothing he really needs to worry about. Oh, he takes a Viking, but unfortunately for him, he ends up on the receiving end of a quick counterattack by BratOK as he rolls out and looks for some damage right here. Siege tank count is 1 in favor of BratOK, not a huge amount, and BratOK not exactly in the position he really needs to be to prosecute any kind of aggression right now. Is to fall all the way back. In come the Hellions looking for some reasonable damage, and do they find it? They get an SCV for free, but that really is about it. In comes the shelling. No! Hellions absolutely not going to do anything like that. That would be quite silly. Managed to take a Viking out of the air by the looks of it. No air power right now for BratOK at all. Looking for drop capability. He also has a second dropship coming on the way. Medevac coming with a drop right here. 8 Marines coming around the side. Drewbie currently out of position for this one. Not ready to go for it at all. Siege tank is there. Quick drop on that one. Will he be able to take it out? The siege tank keeps moving. That's very, very unlikely. And into the stim and into the mineral line. How much damage can he really do with this, honestly? Focusing right now on the reactor. Good shelling there by Drewbie. And the Hellions in from the rear. Minimize the damage of that drop. Couple of SCVs taken out, but nothing major. You might even lose the Medevac if he's not careful. Holds the line against that Hellion, takes a huge amount of damage in the process. Everything that BratOK has dropped in there is going to go down by the looks of it. Good stim and a grab by Drewbie. In the meantime, however, bear in mind, BratOK is the master of the multitasking, so he's looking to draw his opponent out of position, does a good job of doing so. 4 siege tanks moving out. Siege tank deployment is not looking too great for Drewbie right now. If he's quick enough, he might be able to gain some ground here and secure a beachhead. Looks like he has right now. Oh, wow, Drewbie just stops just out of range. Looks like he might get a little bit of shelling going on right here. He doesn't actually have the visibility. BratOK with a little bit of mistake right there. Not forward with his Air Force. So, big shelling coming on. He's going to end up losing a siege tank right there for free. Oh, wow. Oh, good lord. No. BratOK making some positional mistakes right here. Drewbie raining it down on BratOK's offensive force. And nothing those Marines can really do right now. We have a bit of a standoff. We have a look at economically, you'll see that Drewbie has managed to catch up quite nicely right here. His expansion is rolling out very, very well indeed. And more tanks coming out for BratOK and for Drewbie as well, are both sitting on 2 factories, pumping them out right here. And we could get much of a sustained ground war, which is not really what you want in a TVT. It can last an awful long time. And who's going to win? Well, that could be a little bit questionable. I would say, however, that the drop capability of Drewbie is really going to play in his favor right here. He does have 2 full medevacs, 16 Marines ready to go and do some major harassment. No big defense around here at all, as BratOK continues to roll out and looks for possibilities and angles of attack. He's not finding them right now. If he was able to get some drop play in the back of this base right here, he could do some major damage, but he's not looking for that at this moment in time. 4 medevacs now on the field for BratOK, so it wouldn't actually surprise me at all if that came in. Yet more shelling as he tries to reposition, and we have the drop coming in right here, but BratOK is prepared for it and drives away that medevac from Drewbie right there. I wonder if BratOK will look for an interception. It looks very unlikely. Doesn't really have the unit count for it. Medevac sitting on both sides right here as the lines are secured, and it's a little bit of a standoff. There's the interception as Drewbie moves in right here. Does he have the unity? Looks for the siege tanks. Can he grab them? It's a good deployment right here. Takes one. Can he take the second? He can. Great grab there by Drewbie. An excellent drop. Even continues with the pushing. Great cutoff there by him. Excellent stuff. He lost very, very few Marines considering how much damage he actually did there. Cutting off the reinforcements of BratOK. And that contain continues to be there though. BratOK has double the number of siege tanks available for him right there. And in we go once again as Drewbie goes for yet more drops. But it's not going to happen this time, I'm afraid. BratOK is prepared for it. Planetary Fortress is up on the field and no problems for him whatsoever. BratOK reinforcing this contain right here, but I think they're going to need a little bit more than that, and it seems that Drewbie agrees. Either he's going to go for the upgrades or he's going to break the Thors out, seeing how well that works for him. Dropping a Thor in the middle of those lines could be potentially devastating. Yet more shelling coming in right here. He does have the range, but he doesn't have the air superiority. He can't scout in. In the meantime, we see BratOK's going for yet another target, and he does have the firepower here. And there's no planetary fortress up either. Drewbie's expansion with nothing there. It's got to go down 20%, 10% right here on fire. Mass repairs coming in right here. How much damage can be done? Here comes the response force from Drewbie. Will it be there in time? He's got good repairs on it right now. Lots an awful lot of SCVs. BratOK GG, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. An excellent drop there by BratOK. Drewbie gives it up. And the first game in this best of 5 series goes to BratOK. Excellent multitasking bait and switch. The kind of thing we like to see from this particular Eastern player.